What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Christine with gaugegirltraining here, online meal planning and coaching service, food scientist and chemical engineer, and in today's video, I'm going to take you guys through the meal prep for the new 6-week shred designed for your macro type. So let's get started. So I'm super excited to tell you guys all about the brand new 6-week shred, and this new and improved version breaks down the shreds into 5 macro types. There is a brand new quiz on gaugegirltraining.com where you can figure out which shred is going to be best for you based on your macro type. Your macro type is the best way to fuel your unique body. Some people do best being more protein fueled, other folks do best being more fat fueled, and other folks do even better being more carb fueled. All of this information is packed into my new book, Unlock Your Macro Type, which is available everywhere books are sold. Today, we are going to get into the kitchen, get into the grocery stores, and show you guys some hands-on demonstrations. We're gonna be preparing for macro type number 2, which is my macro type. I am protein fueled, and I'm gonna be showing you guys all the food, all my tips and tricks for how I meal plan. So let's get going. All right, so we are on the landing page of gaugegirltraining.com, and you see it's gonna take you here to the Discover Your Macro Type quiz. You're going to want to start here and go through the quiz questions. It's 19 questions. It's going to land you on the best macro type shred for you. So I just wanted to show you guys something. If you already have the book, you guys can go here to the shop section, macro types. And if you already know which macro type you are, we have macro type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all original. Now, original means it includes everything, dairy, meat, all the things. We also have it available in the paleo version as well for each macro type. All right, so you guys can see I'm going to be meal prepping off of 6-week shred, macro type 2, protein fueled. Now, I'm going to take myself through, there's all these menus and whatnot. I'm gonna start with menu number 2. I'm going to meal prep all of these things. I'm going to do menu number 2 and menu number 4. Now, I just wanted to show you guys that it does come with a detailed grocery list. The grocery quantities are for 1 day of eating, and I'm going to prep each one for 4 days, so I'll have 8 days worth of meals. I'm going to start a little bit ahead of the challenge, so I'm going to show you guys that here, and this meal menu grocery 3, and I'm going to do menu 4. So just to give you guys an idea of what we are working with. All right, you guys, so as you know, the meal plan does include grocery lists. You can see it here, but what I did was I audited the grocery list versus what I have in my house, and I created my own handwritten list I'm gonna take with me to the store. It's not that you can't take these to the store with you as is, you absolutely can, but I feel like everyone needs to do that like inventory check just to make sure you're not buying stuff you don't need. So now we're gonna head to the store. All right, now off to go get the groceries. All right, you guys, so we're at Whole Foods, and guess what? I actually remembered my grocery bags this time. I'm about to get all the things that I need for the 6-week shred challenge starting on Monday, August 8th. And keep in mind, you guys, you can actually upgrade to include online coaching with this challenge. And if you are looking at this, I am drinking Starbucks. I got a grande iced Americano, no sugar. All right, guys, so blueberries, strawberries, they're definitely on my list. They are the fruit that I insist you all order organic. Even regular strawberries are not going to be free of pesticides, so please, if you can afford to do so, always get organic for strawberries and blueberries. So I do want to say that I appreciate the fact that it says these avocados will be ready to eat in 3 to 4 days. Avocados are so tricky. I do have avocado toast on the menu that I'm going to be prepping against, so we are going to get some avocado. So I'm meal prepping one of my favorite meals, which is the chicken adobo. Started off with 4 cups of water here. I'm adding my chicken breast, half a cup of soy sauce or coconut aminos, same quantity with some apple cider vinegar, adding some bay leaves to the mix as well as chopped garlic. And what I do is I let that simmer, and you can see the ring along the side, that I let that sit and simmer for a good 30-45 minutes, no rush. I then took the chicken out of there and put it on a skillet sprayed with olive oil, and you can see it's falling off the bone. So I kind of used tongs to take the bones out. You could work with boneless, but I already had chicken with the bones and I didn't feel like deboning it.
But then I saute it, add the sauce back in, and cook it from there.
All right, so it's time to portion things out. So I already pre-portioned my rice into the containers. I'm preparing meals right here. So that is my portion. That's the container plus the rice. So I am going to tear it. Right now I'm going to weigh out my adobo portion. Based off of the meal plan, it tells me exactly how much I need. I'm going to add it here directly from the pot. So that's 4 ounces. I get a really nice generous portion. Actually, I get 7 ounces. I am including some of the liquid. 6.4. All right, 7.02. There we have it. That is my portion. Now I want to show you guys something. The way I food prep this is I have these 2 items together. This is the portion of string beans I get. I'm going to make the string beans fresh that day. Now I can steam them, I can lightly saute them the day of, but I'm not going to combine these together. I like to keep my veggies raw and separate so they don't get wilty and nasty. That's my personal opinion and preference. You're welcome to chop these up and put it in there, but I like to keep my veggies separate so they stay fresh and crisp. So I'm going to portion out the rest of these now. All right, so here are my portions of the adobo and rice, and like I said, I have the string beans separate. So I just want to show you guys up close what a protein fueled meal looks like. I'm going to eat this for lunch and dinner, and I have my string beans separately. Again, I'm going to just saute them fresh right before, just because I don't want them to get wilty. I like fresh vegetables. So now you can see these are still very hot. I am going to wait a little bit for these to cool. These are part of one menu. I'm not going to meal prep out the breakfast, but I am going to show you guys another menu, which is menu 4. Prep myself some more meals.
So I'm cooking the Cuban beef picadillo, and you can see I just added a tablespoon of olive oil, added 4 cloves of garlic, sauteed that, and what I did was I'm adding and browning 2 pounds of ground beef, sauteing that with a tablespoon of cumin, breaking that up, also adding bay leaves to this recipe, 2 bay leaves, crumble them up here over the dish. Now I'm adding cayenne. You can add this to your taste preferences. Also adding tomato paste. It calls for about a 1/4 cup. And also adding tomatoes. You can use it from the can for convenience, adding some bell peppers and some cilantro. You can add more cilantro if you like. And then put the lid on that after it's all cooked and let it cook.
All right, so while the Cuban beef picadillo is cooking, I just want to show you guys one of my shortcuts. And my shortcut is steamed rice. You can buy these at Whole Foods, you can buy these at Trader Joe's, you can buy this at any national grocery store. It's in the frozen section. It comes in these pre-packaged bags. The bags are roughly 10 ounces each. That way you don't need to prepare a lot in bulk. This is what we got. So this is 10 ounces of brown rice. All I need to do is pop this in the microwave for 3 minutes and it gives me that. And I love stocking my freezer with these things. Again, they have them at Trader Joe's, they have them at Whole Foods, they have them just about anywhere, but I will be pairing my Cuban beef picadillo with brown rice. Now, one thing, just keep in mind, you can freely add leafy greens to anything. So you can even toss in some spinach into the finished batch of the Cuban beef. It's really good for your fiber intake, really good for those micros, and spinach is a free food, so feel free. You can either do that as a side salad. I like lots of greens with my meal, so feel free to add that as well.
Back to the Cuban beef picadillo. I added some extra spinach. You can add them freely. It is free food. Added the olives. And that's it, guys. That is a wrap. That is the meal. So simple, so delicious. You can add salt and pepper to taste. I did not add any of that here while I was cooking it.
All right, so the first thing I did was I took my container, put it on my scale, turned the scale on, and you can see it's already set to 0. I take that off, and you can see that is the weight of the container. So first thing this needs is my rice portion, carbohydrate. Now you can see I'm using brown rice, but you guys can substitute for the carb of your choice if you wanted to use red potatoes, sweet potatoes, whatever it is. You could do plantains. As long as it stays the same macros wise, you are good to go. Now this is based off of the portions in the meal plan. All right, so that's 4.09. It's close enough to 4. Now I'm going to tear it and do my Cuban beef picadillo portion. So I'm scooping this here. And this just makes your life so much more convenient. 7.05, so that's close enough. So this is the entire meal, you guys. Like, that is a decent portion. I'm going to eat the same thing for lunch and dinner just because I appreciate the convenience. I don't want to cook two separate things, and I really want to stick to my goals. So this is what a meal's gonna look like. I'm going to portion out the rest so I have a few days worth. All right, guys, meal prep is complete. I want to make a couple points. So the first thing is, this is what the Cuban beef picadillo looks like in the finished state. I'm going to be eating one of these for lunch and one of these for dinner. Now, you guys also know that I prepped out the chicken adobo with rice and a side of string beans, which I'm going to add separately. So a couple things here. With this meal, you could just do spinach instead of string beans if you don't want to like have that extra step. I like fresh string beans. I appreciate that. So you can see I staged everything. All I have to do is heat this up. All I have to do is steam these or lightly saute them. Now, what I want to make a point here is the way this is set up is I'm going to be doing the chicken adobo and rice for lunch and dinner on one day, and then I'm going to be doing the Cuban beef picadillo, you know, one for lunch, one for dinner. Now, I have in front of me multiple days of meals, as you can see. The thing is, I know that I need to eat 2 of these in a day. So if I wanted to substitute with one of these, as long as all of the food gets eaten in the course of the week, you can sub it as long as you prepared the full week's worth, if that makes sense. So again, let me just repeat that. These are probably not a 1-for-1 macro substitution, but if I had 2 of these and 2 of these, and between 2 days, all of them got eaten, you can make those substitutions. So I want you guys to realize that if you're gonna do this meal plan, there is value in prepping against 2 menus as opposed to 1. So that way you're not stuck eating the same thing for lunch and dinner. I know some of you guys don't mind that. I personally don't mind that. But if you're like, I just had this, and you want to do another one for dinner, you should do that. So what I did here, I have a few days worth of meals, but I can mix and match these as long as over the course of the next couple days, I get all of these down. So this is going to conclude part 1 of this video. In part 2, I am going to showcase the snacks. I'm going to showcase pre and post workout, and I'm going to showcase breakfast. So this is part 1. I will see you guys on the next one. And in part 2, I will also talk to you guys about measuring baseline photos and measurements. So see you next time.